Hey guys, welcome to lesson 4. Today we're going to go over how to manage and optimize your Facebook ads during your product launch. So topics for today: tracking your Facebook ads, using rules and why you should use them, fixing broken ad sets and ads, and adjusting budget as you go. What have we covered so far? First 3 lessons we covered in lesson 1, how to work with the Amazon algorithm. Lesson 2, how to create a ManyChat flow for launching products. Lesson 3, how to create Facebook ads to launch your product. So now we get into how to optimize your ads during launch, because what we need to know now that our campaigns are hopefully running, we need to know how to work with them and make them better and stop them from failing, because sometimes things go wrong. We have to go in and make some tweaks. Just keep an eye on it. So I'm going to show you guys some ways to do that. Here are the main things that you want to look at when you're running your Facebook ads. First thing, daily spend. Obviously big importance there, because we don't want to be spending more than we need to, and we also want to make sure that we're spending enough so that we're getting the number of orders that we need to hit our benchmarks. If you need 10 sales a day, your budget's $50 and you're not hitting that, you might need to increase it temporarily while you make some tweaks to your ad sets and your ads, which I'm going to go over here. Second thing, we're going to look at how much spend is going to the various ad sets. We want to make sure that it's getting distributed at least a little bit. Otherwise, something might be a little funky there, and we might need to make some adjustments. Third thing, cost per message. That's important. Want to make sure that cost per message isn't getting too crazy. Generally, you want to shoot for under $5 for cost per message. I mean, $5 is actually pretty poor performance. So we want to set in some stop gaps. We want to make sure that if the cost per message goes too high, that we're automatically making some adjustments, or at least tracking it manually if we have time. Fourth thing, daily verified orders. You can check this in your Boost Rooster dashboard fairly easily. The other way that you could check the verified orders would be, if you don't use Boost Rooster, it's a little bit difficult. You'd have to go into your Amazon account and pull those, or you'd have to go into your ManyChat account and actually check all those orders that are being entered by customers. It's a really time-consuming process. The easiest way to check that is inside of Boost Rooster, obviously. So here's an example of a campaign that I recently ran. This is just like a 7-day look back. These are some of the ad sets that I ran for quite a while. And basically what you can do is you can sort it by amount spent, or you can sort it by whatever you want, but really amount spent or cost per new message connection here. Just click that and sort by that, and you can see which ones are not performing well. They're turned off, little spent. Basically what you want to do is turn off the ones that have high cost per new message. Leave the ones that are doing pretty well running. And as you continue to run this and your rules turn off losers, and you keep making new ad sets, and you'll eventually find some that get a really low cost per message. You'll probably see much lower than this even in most cases. And when you do start to see that kind of traction after you run it for over the 7-day period, probably like 5 to 10-day period, you'll start to see some that start to stand out. You can decrease your budget below what you initially set it to and still get the number of orders that you need. So it's kind of a balancing act of how much budget do you use in Facebook, and how many orders are you getting within Boost Rooster. So you have to kind of look at those two things and sort of decrease or increase as you see fit based on how many orders you're getting verified. And when you notice that you're getting the number of orders that you need and you start to decrease the budget, or if you need to increase the budget, basically to do this, you just go to the campaign tab, you hit edit, and you go down a little bit to the daily budget, and you can just adjust that. So if this were $50 a day, you don't want to go up or down in budget by more than 25% per day. Just kind of a rule of thumb that I've made and I've noticed from observation. If you do more than that, if you have to, that's okay, but try to not do that if you're only just optimizing, really. So 25%-ish should be pretty safe. So let's go over the easiest fixes for Facebook ads that are not performing well. So if you notice as you're running your campaign that you're not getting very good cost per message on several of your ad sets, what you can actually do, if that's happening for more than one day in a row, it will fluctuate day by day. Some days you'll get something that's doing like $7 cost per message, and then the next day Facebook will say that wasn't working out. Let's target somebody else in this large audience, and it'll go back down to like $2 or even $1. It just really shoots all over the place. But if you notice, after like 2 days in a row, you're getting really poor performance. I like to do this thing I call like a refresh of the targeting. What I do is I duplicate the ad sets. So I'll find that ad sets that are the ad set that is not performing well. So say it's $7 per message for like 2 days in a row, but it was performing well previously. I'll just click the duplicate button and I'll duplicate it 5 times, and then I'll turn off the one that was not performing well. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me just pause, go to my ads manager and show you how to do that, okay? And basically what you would do is you would just go into the ad set tab, and then you would hit this duplicate button, and you would mark this up to 5. 5 is just what I pick. I mean, you could really do whatever you want. You could even go larger than this if you really want to. It could get a little crazy inside your ad manager though, just keep that in mind. Hit duplicate. It's going to duplicate 5 times. And then what we're going to do after this is done is we are going to, let me just check this real quick. So that's duplicated. We're going to go back here, and then we're going to go find the one that was on previously. It's kind of hard to see on my screen here, but let me just move it up a little bit. All right, just move that up. And basically what we're just going to do is turn it off. So we turn off that one that was not performing well, then we have all of these drafts, and then there's a little review and publish button here at the top. And then we would just click that and we would publish. This is not a campaign that I'm running for a launch. I just wanted to show you because this is another campaign I'm running. My other campaign I didn't want to do this for, so this is what I would do for this. Okay, so that's how you do the refresh. So essentially, just a summary of that, you duplicate the one that did perform well but stopped 5 times, and then you turn off the one that that is not performing well anymore. So you're just going to have 5 little clones of it going out there trying to find new pockets in that targeting that will work. Option 2, think of more audiences that are large, add those as new ad sets, and basically what you would do, the easiest way to go about doing that is duplicate like I just showed you, but instead of duplicating and just leaving it as is, you duplicate and then you delete the existing targeting on that ad set and you make new targeting. So basically it's just going to duplicate your ad set, the ad with the JSON attached to it is going to follow, and you're just going to change the targeting under that ad set. So duplicating is a very easy way to do a refresh, and you could do that whether you're duplicating the exact same targeting or you're duplicating and then going in and changing the targeting that was on that ad set. Hopefully that's clear. So the next thing here, so Facebook's going to take a new look at the ad set after you reboot it using option 1. Sometimes that will fix it, just having those 5 little clones out there performing on their own from scratch. And if you find that neither of these approaches is working, so duplicating and changing the targeting or duplicating and leaving it as is, if you find those aren't working, you might have an ad/offer problem rather than an ad set targeting problem. So if you notice this, one way to fix that, just try making a new ad either in an image or video format and running that because maybe your image is just not very good, it's just not enticing, maybe people don't know what your product is, they're just not interested in it. These are variables too, so put yourself in the customer's position. Does your image and your offer look enticing? Is it clear what you're selling? Is the value of your product clearly displayed to a customer? If not, you might need to rethink your campaign image strategy. Okay, now I just wanted to get into a more advanced ninja tactic on how to use Facebook rules. It's an automated action that you can make Facebook take when you're asleep, when you're at the beach, whatever you need to do. So like if you want to take your eyes off the launch and have Facebook doing some of the work for you, this is for you. I use these usually when I do launches. I encourage you to look into it. So the first thing you want to do, set a rule within Facebook that tells Facebook, hey Facebook, I want you to turn off an ad set if the cost per message exceeds $5 in the last 24 hours. And you can run this check once or twice per day. I generally just do once, and I set it to run around noon Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to show you how to put this in place, but first let me just cover the second point here. If you notice all your ad sets are being turned off, you want to go in, make many more, and try targeting using the methods in the previous slide where I went over how to duplicate, make more audiences so Facebook looks around a little bit more. If you set this rule to turn things off when budget exceeds $5 per message, you might have a scenario on your hands where everything gets turned off at noon and your orders don't get filled. So you're not hitting that order threshold that you want. So be careful with this rule. Make sure that you don't turn off everything automatically if your ad sets don't perform well in one day. And to kind of prevent this from happening, having a lot of ad sets makes this less likely to happen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause and I'm going to go into the Facebook rules and show you how to add this rule to your Facebook account. Okay, so I'm in a different Facebook account here. I'm just going to show you how to apply rules to your ad sets. In this example, I only have one ad set. If you had 10 ad sets in here, to do this, you'd have to select all the ad sets that you want the rule to apply to. Because I only have one, I'm just going to select one here. You click that button, then you go to Rules, and you select Create a New Rule. You click that, wait for it. And what we want to do, if you remember, is we want to turn off an ad set if the cost per message reply or cost per new message connection. So cost per new message connection is greater than $5. Time range, we can do today. So this isn't technically the last 24 hours. If you wanted to do it a little bit more of a look back, you could set it as yesterday and to turn it off, but really I like to do it on a day-by-day basis and then turn things on. I'm going to show you what I mean. So I say today, attribution window custom is not necessary. Daily custom, so schedule, this is a schedule. What we want to do is actually go in here, select every single day. Unfortunately, this is the easiest way to do this. Go in, select 12 p.m. for all of these. Takes a little bit of time, but luckily you only really need to do it once. So just go in, select 12 p.m. It's going to be set to your time zone. It actually shows it right there. So I'm Pacific time, that's why it says that. 12 p.m. and 12 p.m. So what this is going to do is every day at 12 p.m. it's going to look at your performance for that particular day and that day alone. And it's going to say if cost per message is greater than $5 for that day, what it's going to do is it's going to turn off that ad set that you've applied this rule to. And you can even send yourself notifications so that you're keeping an eye on it. You could name this rule if CP message greater than $5, then turn off ad set. Okay, create. Close. Next, we're going to create another rule. And what I like to do, and I'm going to try to explain the reason I do this, I also like to automatically turn on ad sets every single day at 12 a.m. midnight. So even if that ad set was turned off the previous day, I like to turn it on the next day and give it another shot, because sometimes they will actually redeem themselves the next day. Facebook will find something else. And these ad sets, if you remember, we have like 5 to 10 or even maybe more. You might have a lot more than this. They're all competing against each other for the budget. And this campaign budget optimization is actually going to allocate budget between the ad sets automatically for you. And for whatever reason, if you turn them off when they're performing poorly and you give them another shot the next day, they will sometimes redeem themselves. And for whatever reason, sometimes they just perform better in the morning than they do later. Hard to say, but I've just noticed that this improves results. So this is what I do. If amount spent is smaller than $1, I'm going to explain why I do this. Today, daily turn on. So what I did here was all the ad sets that we select, which is going to be all of them, we're going to say turn on ad sets if at 12 a.m. midnight, the amount spent is less than $1. All your ad sets are always going to have 0 spent at midnight. So what this is effectively doing is it's turning on all the ad sets that got turned off the previous day at midnight so that you don't have a scenario where everything gets turned off. If you don't put this on, it's possible after 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, all your ad sets will perform badly at some point. They'll all be turned off. So if you have this on, you know for a fact that they'll all be on at midnight and they'll at least run until noon. Worst case scenario, they might all shut off at noon if you're not watching it or if they're all performing poorly, but you do know that they'll all be turned back on again at midnight and they'll run. So this is just kind of a way to run some automated cost per message optimizations in your account. So if this feels over your head, remember rules are not really necessary per se, but this can help you decrease your cost per message connection. So I would name this if midnight, then turn on ad set. That's basically all it's checking for, right? And you hit create. And those are the rules, and those are really my main tips for this. There are other things you can do. Those are the ones that I would say make the biggest difference when people use them. Okay, so now we're within the Boost Rooster dashboard. I'm going to show you how you can utilize this dashboard to help you track your performance as you go along. So this part here, orders verified today, it's early in the day, you've got 2 verified orders, you got 5 gift cards given. These relate to orders that occurred 3 days ago or more. So as of the time I'm recording this, we send the gift cards 3 days later. So as of today, I've got 5 sent from 3 days ago. So far today, I've got 2 verified orders. And what we can actually do within this platform, which is really cool, we can see the total number of orders that campaign has received over the life of the campaign. So far, this campaign down here that I'm highlighting has received 25 orders, 30 gift cards loaded into the account. And you can go in and you can actually track the stats by clicking this. So if I click stats, you'll see 1 verified order today so far, 2 gift cards given. You can see on the left-hand side the date of when those orders were verified. You can also see the buyer name, and if you wanted to message that buyer, you can click the link on their name actually. And this will automatically open ManyChat into your account, and you can have a conversation with them. Really cool stuff. This stuff has never been able to be performed before so easily. You guys, if you've run these campaigns before, I think you can appreciate this is super user-friendly because you can actually see what order ID they also typed. You can see whether they've received their rebate, and you can message them with a click of the button. So that's super easy. What you can also do here is you can go into your orders. If you click the orders tab there, and you can see whether the orders are verified, whether the rebates have been sent, campaign it relates to, order date, order IDs, all that good stuff. So I can actually just scroll down and I can see, are there any unverified orders in here? If I scroll all the way down, and I'm obviously blurring a lot of stuff here because there's personal campaign stuff. So we'll notice there's one down here that's not verified. And turns out what happened is, from checking this order ID, this is actually just a falsified order ID. It's not even an order that was even placed. So Boost Rooster knew that because it checked with Amazon's API and it said, did this order exist? Is it a verified order? Because it did not exist, it did not distribute a gift card because it did not verify the order. So if you had to do this manually, you're going to have a problem because you're going to have to go into Amazon, you're going to have to check these orders, and then you're only going to send the rebates to the right people. But what we've done here is we've given you a very easy way to see which orders are verified and send out the rebates for you on your behalf, right? So they're sent automatically, we verify, everything's done for you on the back end. So this is how you kind of track performance as you go along. All right, guys, we made it. Lesson 4 is over. I hope that you understand how to manage your Facebook campaigns as they're running along. I tried to keep it fairly simple because these campaigns are short. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. There are a lot of more things you can do, but I just want to show you the very essential things that I think actually make a difference, okay? So next, final lesson for this bootcamp, tracking your ranking results and how to leverage this newfound ManyChat audience in the correct way if your goal is to build a real brand. So I'll see you then. I might also have a couple other things, nuggets I'll try to put in there, but that's the gist of it. See you guys there. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson.